Now, we just learned the classic elegance pose. And now let's do another pose that has a little bit more of a modern feel to it. And that's what I call it, the modern pose. So let's break it down. Well, when you know it, still number one, nose to the light. That's always going to be a consistent thing with me. Two, shoulders at an angle. What do I mean by that? In general, you don't want your shoulders right square with the camera. You want it at a slight angle, and that also accentuates the shape of the female form when you're hitting it at an angle versus straight like that. So shoulders at an angle. Two, same thing, pop the hip. And that wherever that hip is popped, if it's popped this way, that leg has to be completely straight. And that's very key. You have to shift the weight. That's why in the other one, we kind of had that golf swing feel to it because you're shifting the weight. Here, you're popping that hip and you need to shift that weight so it's not all on both legs. Then here's what really creates that modern look is when you raise the knee. And so when you raise the knee, what you're doing is you're creating a pose where the subject looks like more of an hourglass, right? And the hips kind of come in more with that V feel to it when that knee is raised. Let's take a few pictures of that. You can see on this photo here where I have the subject leaning against the wall. And a lot of times when you are working with a subject, especially if they're having a hard time with these poses, you can have them lean on something. And a lot of times I just, to do something varied, I just have them lean against the wall. And you can see that she's just putting her elbow against the wall, leaning on that. Let's look at another one. Right? And I want you to notice in this photo how I had her raise the knee and what it does to her shape. Immediately when she raises that knee, her hips go down like this to her knee, giving her that hourglass shape, right? So you want to accentuate the beauties of the female form. So what is different between a female and the male? Right? And so you want to accentuate the female body parts and make sure that they're featured because that's what makes a female look like a female. And so when they raise that knee up, then you're getting more shape, especially along the hips. The hip shape is being accentuated by raising that knee. So you can see other photos here where I'm doing that style, where I'm shifting that weight. And here again, she's actually raising her knee on this next photo where I'm shooting through some organic growth and I'm having her shift that weight. The next picture, I am in Spain, and again, she's using the wall to lean on so she can just accentuate and have that hip shifted. Like I said before, when you have a great pose, you can go ahead and shoot it full length, and you can also go ahead and shoot it waist up. Because when you have the base correctly done and the pose is right, no matter where you shoot, it's gonna look amazing, whether you're gonna do a headshot, waist up, or full length. And so that's just a routine that you can get yourself into. So you can hey, I'm gonna do the classic elegant pose, right? Shoot it full length, waist up, and tight, headshot, right? Then you can do the modern pose, right? You could do the same thing. Shoot it full length, waist up, and then tight headshot. Change the motion, change the arm positions, change the angle of the lens, shoot high, shoot low, boom. Got your whole session done with just 2 poses, right? And so there's a lot of versatility there in just the way you shoot it too, even though they're posed the same. So I want you to go out and do it. And do this modern pose, get yourself a subject, and just remember those fine points of shifting that weight, raising the knee, not necessarily shooting the subject with the shoulders squared to the camera, but just slightly off to the side so you can accentuate the shape and see it, and put the nose to the light. I need you to practice it. Now, it might seem simple, but not everybody can do it. So, use a variety of people. If you use the same person all the time, they're going to be used to the pose and they're just going to do it and it's going to be too easy. So it's almost like you want to get a person that's actually not experienced. Sometimes when we go out and we shoot models and they already know how to pose, that's too easy, because in the real world, you're going to have to break it down for a person and have them and teach them how to pose. I'm gonna go on location and I'm gonna show you how I do these techniques, and you're gonna get a firsthand. I'm gonna show you the nuances of it and maybe some variations of it and my camera angles, and so you can see how I do it, and it will help you perfect how you do it also.